So hey guys, and welcome to the stream. Tonight we are talking about the current state of Alton Towers. Welcome everybody, whether you're watching this after it's been streamed, whether you're watching it during the stream. I can see a few people in this chat already. Massive shout out to all you guys, I'll get to that in a second. Yes, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm going to make this a bit of an interactive thing, so if you've got any comments or you want to sort of interact with me, please do whack it down in the comment section and I will get to it. Hey, Coaster Potato, how are you doing? Subtle Loop, yes, I love the intro to this stream, I really do. I spent ages on it. Tats and Coasters, hello, how are you? It is I, Coaster, indeed, we are live. Hello, Oleg Coaster, how are you doing? How are you doing tonight? Believe it or not, I've actually made notes for tonight because I've got so much I want to discuss. I was going to make this into a video. The issue with that was there was so much that I needed to speak my mind on, shall we say, about Alton Towers. The Retro Squad, we'll be getting to the Retro Squad very soon. Hello Theme Park Hub, how are you doing? Yeah, it's pretty weird streaming on a Thursday. I normally either stream on a Saturday or Sunday. So, yes, it's really hot in here, by the way. I've got a massive studio light on. So if you see me starting to sweat, I really do apologise. Paul Smith, hello. How are you doing? There's 15 of you in here. That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely love that. No, I really do appreciate... Really appreciate you guys coming along tonight. Oh, 17 of you now. Oh, that's amazing. So yes, we've got a few topics to cover. In fact, I'm going to bring that over here. Now, I had a few issues with my webcam. So if I suddenly go black, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Tats and Coasters. Oh my God, Theme Park Hub. Yes, Theme Park Hub is in the chat. She is in the chat. So yeah, how are you guys doing? How has your Thursday been? How has this week been for you? We've got over Hump Day. We're on the home stretch now. Tomorrow day. Oh, my webcam stopped. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. I don't know why that's happening. So I have to deactivate it and then activate it again. There we go. I'm moving again. In fact, I'm going to leave that window open. But yes, my week's been all right. I've got Alton Towers on Saturday. Got a few more comments coming in. Theme Park Hub. Oh, hello, Stacks Right. How are you doing? How are you doing? Chibi Vlogs. Chibi Vlogs. Who else have we got in here? Theme Park Hub. Oh my God, is that Emily from Tats and Coasters? It is. Oleg, I'm sick. You are. You're all sick. But yeah. Tonight, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, we're going to be talking about the state of Alton Towers, just because Alton Towers this year, I'll be honest with you, it's pissed me off. There's been so many things that I've not found enjoyable about the park, and that as, you know, in the past, though, these little things would have been sorted out, but they haven't, so I sort of wanted to make a stream sort of reaching out, talking about it, in case anybody from Merlin or Alton Towers is watching. Coaster Tog, hello. How are you doing? We've got Amber Marshall here for the vibes. I'm also here for the vibes. I'm always here for the vibes. Love a good vibe. Vibes restaurant at not Alton Towers, at Thorpe Park. Chibi Vlogs. Thanks. Busy job hunting at the moment. Well, I hope you find a job. I really do. Oh, I've stopped again. There we go. I don't know how long that's going to continue for, but I might have to turn the camera off and on again, because I'm actually streaming on my Sony ZV-1. So yes, let's get into the discussion, shall we? Alton Towers. Now, like I said before, I've got like a whole list of things that I want to talk about. The first one is rides and availability. I think, what's his face? Where was he? Where's the comment? Oleg Coasters, that's it. Oleg Coasters said it already, the Retro Squad. That's the first thing I want to talk about tonight. So, the Retro Squad, I've already made a video about this, pretty much explaining my full thoughts and opinions on the subject. But essentially, oh, hello, 138990. Hello, iCoaster. I'm going to the opening of Nemesis Subterra. So am I. Saturday, can't wait to experience it for the first time ever. You know what? I got to experience it. Side topic, by the way. I got to experience it back in 2012. Absolutely love the thing. I think it's a great attraction, and I'm really happy that they've reopened it so a new generation can experience the ride as well. Chibi Vlogs, I'm definitely feeling your frustration with Towers lately. Yeah, A lot of people are, and that's why I wanted to come on, because it's resonating with so many people. Oh my god, we've got 19 viewers. That's amazing. Stacks rides. Yeah, ride availability this year has probably been the worst I've ever seen it. I couldn't agree with you more. And that leads me on to it. So rides and availability. So I'll talk about availability first, because I've been Towers a couple of times. I go Towers nearly every weekend. I'm in the privileged situation to be able to do that. I love the park. I really do. I think it's a great park with some great rides. Unfortunately, they've not all been open. So when the last time that I went, a couple of weeks ago now, about 2 weeks ago, because I've been busy, I've not had time to go to Towers. I went, and everything, and I mean everything, was up and down. Wicker Man was literally closed for 3/4 of the day. We didn't get on that. In fact, no, it was closed all day. No, I'm pretty sure it was closed all day. You had Galactica that was up and down. You had Smiler that was up and down. A couple of years ago, that wouldn't have been a thing. I'm not sure what's happening, whether it's a maintenance thing, whether these rides aren't being kept to as high a standard as they would in previous years. But something's changed, and Merlin aren't keeping that ride availability that they aren't keeping rides to the availability standard that they should be, if that makes sense. I've got a few more comments coming in. Tats and Coasters. I love the Retro Squad lore. I defend the lore. Transformers. They basically are Transformers. Alton Towers ripped off the Transformers. Stacks Ride. The Retro Squad has got to go. They need permanent flats. Agreed. Chibi Vlogs. You can't bin the Retro Squad because they would be nothing to do really. I kind of agree with that. I kind of don't. So I believe with the Retro Squad, like what Stacks Rise says, I think that they do need to start investing in permanent flat rides. I mean, opening Subterra is a step in the right direction, but that mixes in with like the availability discussion, because you're opening an old ride that you shut years ago to substitute for the fact that you've not got many at all, if that makes sense. You've not got many support rides, because all you've got really in that area is Funkenfly and the Blade, and those two rides are quite low capacity, so they aren't going to be eating through queues like something else would that you could buy. But I don't know. I really do feel like Alton Towers need to work on availability. They need to work on the overall maintenance of the park and of their rides, and try and get them open a bit more. I mean, coincidentally, all this started when Francis Jackson left, so I don't know if that's got anything to go by, but Paul Smith, not sure how they think they can manage 365 operations if they can't keep the rides open. No, I fully agree. Because I was going to make a video on this, I didn't end up doing it. But essentially, Alton Towers are looking to go 365. In fact, they got planning permission to go 365, meaning that the park will be open 365 days a year. Now, if they go down that route, they're going to need to sort out ride availability, because you can't have multiple rides down at the same time, because you're going to be getting increased visitor numbers. You're going to have a constant flow of visitors all year, and these rides need to be better maintained to be able to support 365 operations. I mean, you're going to have rides that are going to be down anyway because of maintenance, so you're going to have to. So it's going to be like Disney, where they're going to have to take rides down periodically to be able to then work on that ride, bring it back up, and then take down another ride. So there will be rides down like periodically throughout the year, but yeah, hopefully it'll be a bit better than the current situation where we've got where they're all seeming to be going up and down. And here we go. I've got a few more chats coming in. 13. I do agree. Ride availability has been poor so far. No Hex. That is a very, very good point. No Sky Ride. I was going to get on to that. So far this year, rides kept shutting, such as Galactica. I've been walking all that way and it was shut. Yeah. So no, I agree with you. Things like the Sky Ride and Hex should be open all the time. Now, if you remember back to last year, Hex was closed till the end of the season, which is appalling in my opinion. It's the Vekoma Madhouse. It's a very good Vekoma Madhouse. It's one of Alton Towers as signature attractions. It should be open all the time, but sadly it's not. I want to know why. I mean, one thing that Alton Towers has been very poor at over the last couple of years is communication. So we don't know why this ride is shut. Is it closed for maintenance? Is there an issue? We want to know. We need to know. Because you've got members of the public that are looking on the website they're seeing rides like Hex, but they go and they're not open because it's not stated on their website that the rides are closed. In fact, can I go to my web browser and we'll check if they're actually... where is the web browser? Sorry, I'm having to peek over this. Here we go. Hex Alton Towers. Let's see if we go onto the official ride page. Does it say it's closed? Information. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see anywhere on that web page that says it's closed. I wouldn't actually know. That's so bad. No, I genuinely thought there would have been something on the website, but there's not. That's bad. That's so bad. Oh no. Oh, the audio's come back on. There we go. Turn that off. In fact, no, I'm going to put some audio on actually. Let's put some Nemesis on. There we go. Who else have we got in the chat? What else is... Oh, hello, Digital Dan. Digital Dan is in the chat. Chibi Vlogs, I mean, in regards to flat rides in the park, buddy. Stacks rides, really disappointing about Hex. It really needs to be fixed. Yeah, no, I agree. Galactica on one station this year is madness. I've noticed that. Galactica has been on one station. I'm not sure whether that's because of the numbers that Alton Towers has been getting this year. I've noticed that the park's been a bit more quiet than it usually is, but that's just me. Sorry, I'm working my way down these comments. Theme Park Hub, it's okay. It's okay though, because they can open Hex for Christmas. You know what? They can open Hex for Christmas, and it's a walk-on. In fact, I went on last Christmas, and it was literally me and my dad sat opposite each other on each end of the gondola, and there was no one else in the vault. It was amazing. Chibi Vlogs, it was Towers repairing Ripsaw's motor in-house that was a contributing factor to its removal. Well, yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have seen Ripsaw stay. Ripsaw was personally one of my favourite flat rides of all time. I loved it. If they could bring something back that's similar, that would be absolutely amazing. Stacks rides. If they can't even open a dark ride, they can't handle a consistent pressure of having them rides open. No, I agree with you. I don't think the Towers will be able to open under 365 operations if they can't get the basics right. And at the moment, they aren't getting the basics right. Again, ride availability. I'm going to come on to the Retro Squad in a second because I've got a few thoughts and opinions about that. Paul Smith, I emailed Alton Towers about Hex recently. They said it's closed for maintenance. Sean Sandbrook mentioned in a video today that they keep bodging repairs, so it keeps breaking down. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't want to speculate about like what's wrong with it. I mean, if they keep bodging repairs, if what he's saying is true, that is shocking. Fire your maintenance team, lads. But I don't know. I think that you shouldn't have to contact Towers though to find out what's happening with your ride. Like, that is poor. Like, I'll go on the website. For those who weren't in the chat before, we went on the website for... I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the web browser now. We went on the website for Hex, and nowhere on here does it say that the ride's closed. So, for someone who likes Hex, right... This will be a very niche circumstance, by the way. Someone who really likes Hex, your general public, will buy a ticket to Alton Towers thinking, oh, I'm going to get on Hex. I really like that ride. Go to the park, close. Because it's not on here. Communication. Digital Dan. They have two book ticket buttons on a ride page for a ride that's not even open. That's brilliant. You know, it is, isn't it? It is actually brilliant. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. And, you know, I'd normally defend Towers because I absolutely love the place. I really do. But at the moment, I can't defend them. I really can't. I mean, this brings me on to the Retro Squad. So, the Retro Squad. So I've made multiple videos about this now. But there are a set of rides that were brought in for 2020 to help with capacity due to COVID. Their time is up. It's time to go. This is the 3rd year of the damn Retro Squad, and we've not seen the end of them. I do think, though, this is going to be the last year of the Retro Squad. I think when Nemesis opens next year, we're not going to see Funk and Fly return in Forbidden Valley. Saying that, though, I do think that even if we do see Funk and Fly go, actually, thinking about it, I think that we'll still have, like, 1 or 2. Hopefully not an X Sector, though. I mean, the situation in X Sector is appalling. It really, really is. Because you've got 2 Retro Squad rides right next to each other, and it's ruining a really well put together area. You've got 2 world-class rides. The Smiler, a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, the first Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, and you've got the world's first dive coaster. And they're completely ruined by 2 flat rides that don't fit in at all, that are blaring out Bon Jovi. It needs to stop. It's not giving a consistent experience. I mean, I remember going to Alton Towers back in 2013, 2012. I remember going into X Sector, seeing things like Submission, Enterprise go around and operating. I remember when the Smiler opened, you had a consistent area that added to the area, that made it more consistent, that strung it together. You had Oblivion, which was obviously still operating. It's that's world class. No, these fun fair rides need to go. I mean, I'm really happy that the roller disco got removed out of Dark Forest because that stuck out like a sore thumb. You had this this ride that was in quite a quiet area because the music in that area is quite quiet. You could hear roller disco quite prevalently in that area, and walking up to like 13's entrance and stuff. It really wasn't good. I'm going to try and keep up with these comments. Jesus. Theme Park Hub, this is where other parks excel. They publish ride closures, clarity, major ride closures, etc. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Drayton Manor, for instance, does an amazing job at letting their guests know what's going to be closed. So, for instance, Drayton Manor had a bit of a late start this year. They opened on the 1st of April. No. Wasn't the 1st of April. I was there for the opening, though, because the park invited me down. Massive thank you to you guys, by the way. And they stated specifically on their website that the big rides weren't going to be closed before the season started. So you had big parks like Alton Towers that opened on the 18th of March, and Drayton Manor clearly stated, okay, guys, our thrill rides, Maelstrom, Shockwave, and a few others aren't going to be open for opening. And that was great. That was great communication. I don't mind rides being closed if you're going to communicate it. No, but Alton Towers, being the world-class park that they are, apparently, no, completely, the communication falls on its face, unfortunately. The Coaster Potato, I've seen it on 2 stations. I was glad to be on 2 stations. I've not seen it on 2 stations. Hello, Chloe Whitmore, Theme Park Hub. Y'all imagine the opening for Nemesis and just Funk and Fly vibing in the back to AC/DC. I love AC/DC, but I don't want that on Nemesis opening. To be fair, I was against the Retro Squad being in that area anyway, just because I love Nemesis and it was ruining the Nemesis experience for me. But call me a bit of a purist, but. John Wardley, an X Sector Fun Fair. It is the X Sector Fun Fair, unfortunately, at the moment. It's not great. It's not great at all. And I mean, the selection of rides is good. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of the Tivoli Extreme. What's it called? Spin Jam, that's it, Spin Jam. I like Twistertron as well. I think Twistertron's really good. But they just don't belong at Alton Towers. I mean, if they were themed into the area a bit more, then yeah, I'd be down for it. But they skipped out on the themed audio. They just have 80s music blaring out. They skipped out on the theming, even if they had like vinyl theming for like Marmalization or something, it would really fit in, but no, they don't have that. Caroline Holensheed, hello, how are you doing? Stacks Rides, I really hope we see some improvements next year, because it really has disappointed me this year. No, it has me. Seeing my favourite park, or one of my favourite parks, deteriorate in the way it has, has honestly been awful. I'm going to move swiftly onwards, actually, from ride availability and the retro squad to another topic that I had down on my list. And this is a big one for me, because part of a theme park, in fact, no, actually, before, I'm going to get through all the comments before I go on to the next one. Theme park hub. Oh, no, actually, no, here we go. The Coaster Potato, keep Funkenfly and just theme it into Phalanx. You know, they could do that. They could theme it into like a Nemesis drill or some kind of Phalanx device. 13, they need a planned maintenance page on the website. I strongly agree. Will Shimmons, hello Ryan, hello Will Shimmons, how are you doing? Stacked Rides, Drayton Manor is more reliable to be more of a 365 park. I agree. I strongly agree. I think Drayton Manor are doing some great things at the moment, and Operations is one of them. Shockwave is one of the best operated roller coasters in the UK, and for a 1994 stand-up coaster, Intamin stand-up coaster, that's saying something. Theme Park Hub, hello. They can't keep the rides because they are renting them. Yeah, they're renting off the Mellors, and that can't be cheap for them every year. But you got to think, they're paying top dollar for these funfair rides every year. How economically viable is that for them? How long can they keep that up? Because surely it'd make more sense to buy permanent flat rides than it would to keep renting them every year. But I don't know. George, what do you think of the ride that was there previously located near the Wicker Man? So there was actually no. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. Wait. So, there was a ride at Alton Towers, actually, that actually, no, wait. I need to get this up. If I'm gonna do it, I need to get it up. Here we go. Right. So there was a ride, actually, that operated at Alton Towers that helped with capacity and the overall ride availability within the park. It was located where the Wicker Man is now. It was themed to imperial leather and ducks, and it was also themed to having a bath. I wonder, can anybody tell me in the comment section, what was this ride called? Oh, it was the Flume! Yeah, enough of that. I can't take that. Oh, I did something to my streaming software. I hope it's not stopped it. Here we go. Right, back to serious talk. Okay, so part of the theme park experience for me is food. I love going to a theme park and eating something that I wouldn't necessarily have, such as cuisines from like different countries. I mean, this is one thing that European parks do very well, is the cuisine from like different countries and things like that, and the selection of food and the quality of food. Sadly, Alton Towers has chosen to go with an outside company to operate their food operations this year, Aramark, who serve prison food. And I have to say, the food this year, I've only had it a couple of times, but everything that I've had has been shocking. There was one meal I had at Alton Towers recently. I'd get a picture up if I could, but I don't know where it is. Somewhere in my camera roll. But I had 5 chicken goujons, or select things, from the Just Chicken place near Inex sector, and chips, and it was some of the worst theme park food I have ever eaten. These chicken-like select things were completely tasteless. And I got like a small amount of chips, and I asked for gravy, right? And it was just this minuscule pot of gravy that looked really sorry for itself. And I had the pleasure of paying £12 for that. Yep, aren't I a mug? And I vowed never to eat at that place again. Don't eat at Just Chicken at Alton Towers. If you're gonna go to Alton Towers this year, buy food. In fact, I'm going to reply to some comments while I'm here. There was no audio. Oh. Okay. Okay. There was no music playing, you pleb. Bro's dancing, there's no music. I'm crying. Quack. Yo, guys, I messed up. You danced in silence. That was very funny. No. No, I did not. Okay, I'm gonna have to sort that out. You know what? I had the desktop audio on though. I don't get that. I don't get why that wasn't playing. That should have been playing. What else have we got? Hello, Sober Life Adventures. How are you doing? Yes. So yeah, on to food. I've also eaten at the Pizza Pasta buffet this year in Katanga Canyon, and that is one of my favourite eateries at the park. I absolutely love it. I would go in there for good value food. It was like £13 last year, I think, and that you have annual pass discount on top of that. And I found that a really good place to eat. The value was good, the food was really nice actually, and you got to eat as much as you wanted. But in my opinion, the quality of that food has gone down, like in a big way. The pizzas aren't cooked as nice, the ingredients are cheap. I mean, I get it, we are in a cost of living crisis, but at the same time, if you're going to be paying £17 odd to get in an all-you-can-eat buffet, I want some sort of quality to it. Now again, you don't go to an all-you-can-eat buffet for quality, but at the same time, have a bit of consistency in the quality. But what else we got? Sober Life Adventures, Stacks Rides. I do take a packed lunch. I've started taking a packed lunch. Play the Flume soundtrack. Why are you all obsessed with the Flume soundtrack? Can I get it to play? Can I actually get it to play? If I play this, if I mute the music, you guys really want the Flume. I don't want this to turn to just a Flume stream. Surely you can hear that. It says it's playing really loud on mine. Like, really loud. I don't know if that's the case, but I don't know. I'm going to leave the Flume there. Bro, I have just been... Hello, Lush Velvet Coasters. How are you doing? Bro, I have had just chicken time. I have been... and it's improved each time I went. Maybe I went at a bad time then, because it was really busy, bear in mind, when I went. So maybe it's just me. It is one experience, I guess, and I'm basing it off of one experience, but at the same time, the experience I had was extremely, extremely poor. The customer service was awful as well. Like, I don't like talking about, like, theme park staff in that way, because I know working in customer service is hard. It really is hard, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, just have a bit of pride in your job. But I don't know. I guess Aramark would have took a hit to their wages as well, I guess. 13, I can see them getting rid of Aramark next year. I don't think so. I think that Aramark are in an operating contract with Merlin now. Well, they are in an operating contract, so they would have to be operating food operations for so many years. So I don't know. I don't know the insides and outs of it, but I just know they're in a contract with them. Ube Rathura? I don't know. Can't pronounce that. I think permanent flats, they need planning permission. No, they don't. So they can build things under a certain height without planning permission. So things like Ripsaw didn't need planning permission, I believe. It might be true, might be false, but I know for a fact for certain places in the park, in terms of like flat rides and buildings under a certain height, they don't need planning permission. That's why they can build like fences and things without needing planning permission every time. If the music's too loud, by the way, let me know. No audio. Yeah, looks like you're not getting any Flume tonight, lads. Lush Velvet Coasters. You're going to press the button that fixes the issues and the Flume soundtrack will defeat us all. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I really want to play the Flume soundtrack for you all. I really do. But I can't. You know what? I'm going to do something. I'm actually going to download it. YouTube to MP3. There we go. This is how I used to download all my music as a teenager. Oh, the memories. Here we go. Right. Will Shimmons is typing in Japanese. Great. Stack's right. However, the Coach House confectionery is the best. I do agree. The Coach House confectionery is very, very good. I had the strawberry milkshake from there, and it was actually really good. I had no complaints with it at all. Here we go. Here we go. Downloading. Is that downloading it, or is it just saying it's downloading it? I think it's just saying it's downloading it. I'm trying to make the flume happen for you. I genuinely am. I genuinely am. If I can make the flume happen, I'll have it in the background. Here we go. Download now. Right. I've got the flume, guys. I've got the flume. I'm gonna add a. I do it a really weird way because I don't actually know how to use this streaming software very well. So my inexperience is showing here, guys. The way I do music in, can I use Streamlabs to stream? So the way I do music is I turn off audio sources. Here we go. Here we go. Loop. There we go. Okay, if I play this now, so if I mute this and I go, where's the flume? Where's the flume? There's the flume. Things I do for you. That should be playing, right? No, I've got the right file selected. I will get the flume to play. I will get the flume to play, I swear. I will. May Lushville the Coasters be my witness. I will get the flume to play. What is going on? It should show up as a source in my software, but it's not. No. But food, I'll talk while I'm doing it. But food is really bad at Alton Towers at the moment. I do think that things need to improve, and it was definitely getting bad before Aramark, but Aramark just turned it up by 10, in all honesty. And things got really bad. Like, really, really bad. It's playing? It's playing? What? How is that playing? I can't see it. I can't see it. Oh, it's playing really loud, that's why. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I'm deafening you all with the flume. It's because I can't hear it. How do I... Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to try. And oh. There we go. Right, I'm going to try and actually listen to this myself. There we go. I can see the chat going mad now. I can see the chat going mad, so I've obviously done something right. Oh, there we go. Should we talk about Should we talk about the next topic then? We talked about food. It's the depth charge music. I actually like this soundtrack. I've got to listen to this for 24 hours, by the way, because you guys smashed the goal that I set on that vlog that I said I would play this flume soundtrack for 24 hours if I hit a certain threshold, and I hit it. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for putting me through the pain of listening to this for 24 hours. It's playing indeed, the flume. The flume is here, guys. The flume is here. Don't fear. So let's talk about overall presentation of the park. I can't talk seriously while this music's on. Overall presentation of the park. So if you walk down from the Curse Alton Manor to where Nemesis Subterra is at the moment, and you look at the floor, there are so many bricks that have become dislodged in the path, and it's actually become like a bit of a trip hazard. And that sort of fits into like the overall presentation of the park. Even things like the Curse Alton Manor, if you look at the queue for the Curse Alton Manor, yes, things need to grow up in that queue line. I do get that, but they could have made it a bit better than it is at the moment on opening. I do think just having that pipe laying on the ground is a really big, it's a huge shame, because you've got this massive pipe that's pumping through, obviously, smoke. I can't talk at the moment. He's pumping through smoke to build up an atmosphere, but the atmosphere is ruined anyway by this big pipe that's being covered by camo netting on the floor. I really do think they could have done a better job than that. things like just general presentation, things just aren't painted at Alton Towers as well. Is that too loud? I feel like that's too loud. I'm going to turn it down a bit. There we go. 13, Festival of Thrills wasn't a great, but Mardi Gras is better. I hope Scarefest is better than last year with new mazes. Not talking about Scarefest. Not talking about Scarefest. Yeah, we'll all find out soon enough. 24 hours starts now. No, it doesn't. I've got work tomorrow. I would love to. I really would, but no, I haven't planned for it. Yeah, like things just aren't painted. The presentation's poor. I mean, you look at Thorpe Park, and to be honest with you, this year they've done a really good job over the closed season at making the park look decent, look presentable, look nice. Alton Towers just haven't done that this year. I mean, with the rapids, I know that the waterfalls are meant to be coming back on, but they removed the theming on the rapids, so now you've just got a bland breeze block wall again, whereas before at least you had like a few masks that were kind of hiding it. It's just poor. It's just really poor. And things like Oblivion's Mist, that's turned itself off again. We had that at the start of the year, now that's gone. The Smiler, for instance, the Smiler's gone really, really mouldy. In fact, can I find the... Wait a second. Oh, that's turned it off. Good. In fact, I'm going to go... Oh, I can't, can I? Because I'm not logged into Twitter. If I was logged into Twitter, I would have gone onto my Twitter and shown you the photos that I've taken of the Smiler mold, because I do Smiler mold updates on my Twitter if you want to go follow me on Twitter. But yeah, the Smiler station is literally mouldy. So if you look... as you go past the optical procedure room, the stairs up to the actual station platform itself, there's like loads of mould on the ceiling, in the station, on the white walls, you've got black mould. It's just disgusting. It really is disgusting. For a world-class ride, you can't have your station going mouldy. Isn't there any pride in Merlin anymore? Do people take pride in the presentation of that park? Because to me, no. You look at the supports for the Smiler as well, and it's literally just algae. Like, how hard is it to get a jet wash out and wash the supports? Like, even if you did it in the closed season, I bet it would take you like 2 days, 3 days, if not a day. Like, get the jet wash out. Like, how much money does it cost just to do a bit of general maintenance like that? It is so poor. It really is. The Smiler looks like a complete and utter mess. If I was someone who came from abroad, right, and I went to Alton Towers for the first time, and obviously the Smiler being the world record holder for the most inversions at the moment, if I went on that ride and I saw the state it was in at the moment, I would be pissed off. Because I'm like, I'm paying £35, £36 for a ticket, but yet they can't have the common decency to make the ride look good. Like... It's mould as well. Like, that is a health risk. Like, I genuinely think that's putting people's health at risk. Black mould isn't a good thing to be breathing in, but yet you stood there for a good 5 minutes waiting for the queue to filter out on the station platform itself, and you're exposed to it. So God knows what's happened there. I mean, 13, for instance. 13's looking really tired. People are starting to peel the panels off the wall now. That's becoming a bit of a state. Stacked rides. Okay, so we're annoyed at Towers at this. I'm a smoker, and I also smoke at the shelters. I've seen a lot of people not smoking or vaping at the areas they designated to. That's a very good point. So, I respect you for smoking in the designated areas. I know that a lot of people don't do it. And if you don't smoke in designated areas, you really do need to. Because I'm a non-smoker. I don't smoke myself. I used to. But I just think that if you are walking around with cigarettes and vapes and stuff like that, you've obviously got no care and attention for other people's... I'm trying to find the right words for it. You're obviously not... I literally cannot speak tonight. I don't know what I've chosen tonight to stream. But you obviously don't care about the people around you. You really don't. If you walk around smoking cigarettes, especially around children, then... yeah, you're an awful person. John Wardley, love Towers Street, which I nicknamed Vinyl Street. Yeah, again, stuff like Tower Street this year, in fact, it's had a bit of love. I have noticed it has had a bit of love, but you look at like the Towers Trading, for instance, where the teddy bear is, you have like the presents. Those are just vinyl stickers now. They used to be 3D set pieces. There used to be a lot more on Tower Street as well in regards to things to look at. Those have, again, have all been replaced with like vinyls and things like that. The more and more rides that have been taken out of Alton Towers, and the more new ones that have replaced them, and the more and more those old references to those old rides have been taken away. Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory had its own window at one stage on Tower Street, I think, and that was really, really good. Chibi Vlogs. I'm glad I've decided to skip Towers this season because I can't justify going to the park with the increased costs and poor park operations. No, and to be honest with you, if I didn't live so close, I probably wouldn't go more than once this year. I'm being honest with you. Now, I live about half an hour away from Towers, so I tend to go a lot. Oh, my camera's frozen again. There we go. Let's deactivate it and bring it back. There we go. Now I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, so I only go to Thorpe Park once or twice a year. To be honest with you, this year, I prefer Thorpe Park to Alton Towers. Now, that's saying something, because I'm not usually a massive fan of Thorpe Park at all, but this year the park has been in a much better state. Like, honestly, they need to take a leaf out of Thorpe Park's book, in all honesty. Like, Thorpe Park, again, I said this earlier, I think, but the presentation of Thorpe Park this year is amazing. They've painted things up, they made things look really nice. They do need to paint up Colossus, though, I do admit, but the rest of the park has been really good, really, really well maintained. Oh, by the way, thank you for 16 likes, by the way. You guys are awesome. The Coaster Potato. The last time I went, it had actually been painted over. Oh, really? Sober Life Adventures. Cobble Vlogs, apparently they have got better. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Paul Smith, it would just be nice if they could fix the broken projector and the faulty screen modules on the Smiler. You know what? That would be fantastic. In fact, I'm pretty sure this year they did fix the projectors on the Smiler, but I went on there again like 2 weeks ago, the last time I went, and they had broken again. What's the point? If you're going to fix it, maintain it. It's like Alton Manor, right? So James and Laura, who have featured in the vlogs many times, Theme Park Jam, go check them out. They're fantastic. They operate a great theme park vlog. If you want any of the latest theme park news and reviews, go follow them. They're amazing. They really, really are. They made a good point. They said, because they're riding Curse at Alton Manor for the first time this Saturday with me and Jamie from Theme Park Hub, and they said that it shouldn't be in the state it's in. Things should be working constantly. The ride's been open 3 months, but yet the ride is slowly degrading. I shouldn't come to expect that kind of thing, but sadly, because of Merlin, yeah, I expect things to be broken in like Curse at Alton Manor now. I go on expecting the few things to be broken. I shouldn't, but I do, sadly. Stax Rides, wish that Alton Towers just went back. It's Loving Care that used to be. Yeah, the Towers Loving Care program. So that was a thing that happened a few years ago now. I think Stax Rides will be able to correct me on when that was a thing. I think it was like from 2015 to 18. The Towers Love and Care program, which I think the Towers Love and Care program stopped when the Wicker Man opened. But essentially, the Towers Love and Care program was a program that Alton Towers set up to improve the park, improve the look and feel of the park, where they would slowly go around and improve bits of the park each year. And that program worked really, really well, and it was a really good thing for Alton Towers to have undergone. And I'm really sad that they stopped doing things like that, because at the moment, they've just left things in the state that they were in for towards the end of the Towers Love and Care program, and they're not maintaining what they did. Oh yeah, it was 2015 to 18. I thought it was. Kaz's Crafts, hello. How are you doing, Kaz's Crafts? Mark, I think Galactica doesn't feel like what it is now, since virtual reality is gone now. In fact, talk about presentation of the park, the Galactica station is a right state at the moment. So, do you know how you had like Eve on the wall of the station, on that projection? All you can hear now is her dialogue. The actual projectors themselves have been turned off. That is so poor, because Galactica has a pretty weak theme anyway, in my opinion. It doesn't really scream spaceships and like interstellar space travel to me when I go on the ride, or I go in the station. I really wish it did, but when it got put in 2016, it was a pretty cheap investment, but there we go. But yeah, it's just slowly deteriorated over time, yet again. I'm saying that again, and sadly, it's not great at all now. In fact, I wouldn't really say, in actual facts, that Galactica has a theme anymore. I think it's just called Galactica, because they pretty much gave up on the theme when they let the projectors break. Because that was the only theming that was in that station, I'll be honest with you. I'm brutal tonight, aren't I? I'm out for blood. Yubei Ruff, I can't say that name, I'm so sorry. I hope Alton Towers can improve so much better in 2024. I think they will. Now, I'm going to talk about the future very soon. But I wanted to first talk about maintenance, and that sort of fits into ride availability. So if you've come into the stream, like, since I started talking about that, I'll basically go over what I talked about in that area, in that section. Let's add some air music, actually. If you've got any music requests, please do leave them down in the comment section below. I probably won't play anything that's I'm a score, because that's copyrighted, but because, yeah, I don't want to get another copyright strike. Believe me, I'm having enough issues with them already. But yeah, so we was talking about ride availability earlier, and the fact that Alton Towers rides just don't seem to be reliable at the moment. And it's such a shame, because if you're paying for a full price ticket, you should go and expect everything to reasonably be open. I don't think you should go to a park expecting everything to be open, but you should expect at least 95%, 90% of the rides to be open when you go to a park, in my opinion. You should always expect like 1 or 2 closures. That way you'll avoid disappointment if something is closed. Strawn, Wickerman face projector not being lined up for years too. Oh yeah, the projector on Wickerman in the pre-show hasn't been lined up. I've noticed that. I've noticed it slowly slipping down. Actually, here's a fun fact for you. The reason that the Smiler projectors regularly fall out of line with the 3D set pieces in that, or the projection mapping on the walls, is because the station is right above it, and because you have constant moving ride vehicles above the station, and the whole building's shaking all the time. That's why the projectors slowly come down. So yeah, fun fact for you there. Tim McGlowan, the projector now only works on one Galactica station. I would love to see more work around the ruins. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Alton Towers, if they did, if they added more projections to Galactica, it would add to the theme a bit more. But they need to repair the ones they've got first. I mean, that actually made me think of an interesting point. I would love to see Alton Towers do an event where they like have projection maps on the towers, because I remember going to Phantasialand, right, and they had like a projection mapping show on the side of, what's it called, the big drop tower ride. I forgot what it's called now, but they had like a massive projection mapping show, and it was amazing, and you could see it from within Klugheim, and it was beautiful. And I feel like if the Alton Towers did like a projection mapping show on the towers, it'd be brilliant. Theme Park Eye, Galactica. Yep. Galactica, everybody. I genuinely don't think it has a theme anymore, but just my opinion. Just my opinion. Sober Life Adventures. I'm excited about what might be put in the building going... What? I'm excited about what they might be putting in the build. They are going to be... Oh, they're going to build. Okay, so yeah. So Project Horizon. I am 100% sure it's going to be a roller coaster. I'm not going to say I'll put money down, actually. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure what's going to be Project Horizon will be a roller coaster. Now, I did a stream talking about what I think is going to be Project Horizon. Go watch that if you want to hear my full thoughts and opinions. But I essentially, a summarized version is I think it's going to be an intimate multi-dimension coaster, because it will the new intimate multi-dimension coasters differentiate themselves enough from what 13 is. So yeah, I think they're going to get one of those, a lot like what Uncharted is at Portaventura. I cannot wait to get on that. I'll hopefully get back out to Portaventura this year. Strawn, it was better last week, but it's still off. Oh, I presume you're talking about the projectors on Galactica. Stax rides, to be honest, I think right now Forbidden Valley, it's just missing Nemesis, like we all do. Yeah, no, I agree. I think once they get Nemesis back up, I think they will improve the area a lot more. I always thought that Galactica and Air were a bit out of place in that area anyway. I feel like it needed a bit of a darker theme. I know that John Wardy was going for the hero of the area, but I still think that it could have had a bit of a darker theme to fit in with that area a bit more. And sadly, that didn't happen. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I do think that as part of the Nemesis retrack, they're going to improve the overall area of Forbidden Valley, and I think there's going to be a lot of theming enhancements to the Nemesis ride itself, and I think you're going to see that on more than just the roller coaster, so you're going to see that around the whole area itself. But we'll have to see what happens. I mean, if you go on Twitter, you can see my photos of the deconstruction of the legs of Nemesis, so the actual Nemesis creature legs themselves, they're being taken off at the moment. We don't know what they're going to be replaced with, but yes. Theme Park I did Nemesis Did you ride Nemesis Subterra? I did ride Nemesis Subterra. So this is going really off topic, but Nemesis Subterra is actually one of my personal favourite experiences in a theme park. I think that Nemesis Subterra was fantastic when it opened back in 2012. I remember it just up to 2014. Then I didn't ride it because I didn't go for 2015. But no, I remember Subterra back in its heyday, and it was really, really good. Love Subterra. Tim, the window of the Great Hall has been completed now for over a year. It would be nice. It'd be nice to appreciate it from the inside. No, I agree with you. I would love Alton Towers to open up the towers a bit more, because the towers at Alton Towers is the heart and soul of the park. It's what the whole park is built around. It's what started the actual park itself, and I think they could pay a bit more homage to that. It's really sad that they're not doing, to be honest with you, because you were able to go in the hall itself, I believe. Christopher, Alton Towers is a mess at the minute, and they are preparing... What's that? And they are papering over the cracks with events and the reopening of Subterra. No, I agree. I genuinely think that I genuinely think that they should have spent the money that they're spending on the events on maintaining the park and making a bit more of a consistent experience. I do get that events bring footfall into the park, but you get more consistent footfall, you get returning visitors if you actually put the money into maintaining the park and making it a more consistent experience for your guests. I genuinely think that's the case. Sober Life Adventures. Do you think Subterra is going to be any different? Yes, I do. So the original, if you didn't know, the original Subterra story was basically the Phalanx had uncovered Nemesis eggs, and they were inviting you down into an underground bunker to view these eggs. And things go a bit wrong. You go back up to the surface, and you have to sort of run out of the facility. I think this time around, though, it's going to be something to do with the Insignia group that has somehow infiltrated the Phalanx, and it's causing a bit of a raucous at the moment within the Phalanx, and there's leaking information about the Nemesis creature and what they're doing to the Nemesis creature, because according to the Phalanx story and the Nemesis lore, Nemesis is actually sedated at the moment. So could it be something to do with the fact that she's sedated and they've got the eggs under control? Are we going to see the rebellion group break into the area around the egg and say, move, 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 we've found this information, you go into the next room and you get some information? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they've done to Subterra. I really hope they haven't ruined it. Genuinely, I really hope they haven't ruined it, because that ride was a great ride a great experience. It wasn't even a ride. I mean, they have ABC drop towers in there, but it's definitely not a ride. Yeah, I genuinely think that it was a great experience when it was a thing in 2012, and I hope that when I get there on Saturday with Jamie from Theme Park Hub, the KD Adventures, Chats and Coasters, and Theme Park Jam, I'm hoping that it's going to be a great experience then, and expect a video from that day, because like I said before, Subterra is a ride that means a lot to me, so of course I'm going to be recording a video on it. Shane, amen. Forget the events, maintain the park. Yes, if you maintain your park, you're going to get returning visitors, and that will bring more revenue in than one-time visitors. And people will be more inclined to buy your annual passes if the park's nice. Like, that's a simple fact. Like, if you go there, right, for the first time, if say you're a first-time visitor at Alton Towers, you go to the park and you have a good experience, you're going to be more inclined to come back and buy an annual pass and spend more money at the park than someone who's had a bad experience. Again, I don't think Merlin realised how much, how important a good experience at a theme park actually is. But no, it's Merlin for you in 2023. So let's talk about the final point that I want to talk about in this stream, and that is the future of Alton Towers. So obviously we've got projects such as Project Horizon on the go, we've just had the launch of the Curse of Alton Manor, we've got Nemesis Subterra, we've got a lot of exciting things coming to Alton Towers in the next couple of years, and things that have just literally just opened up or are opening up in the case of Subterra this Saturday. And I think opening these attractions is a step in the right direction. I can't help but feel, again, the overall presentation and maintenance of the park should have been the priority before new attractions. Now, people are going to hound me for this in the comments. Go ahead, you know, people love new roller coasters, they love new rides, but why would you spend money when the rest of the park is on new rides, when the rest of the park's in a state? It's like inviting someone round to your house. Like, say you bought a new TV, right? It's a really nice TV. You've got it on the wall. It's all nice. It's 4K ready. It's got a really nice sound system. You invite your friends around to come view it. But the rest of your house is a tip. Wouldn't you clean your house up first before you invited them round to go look at that TV? Same difference, in my opinion. I would have rather had the presentation of the park kept up than new rides. And it's sad to see the park decline the way it has, but I do think that the park will be on the up. I mean, if Project Horizon is going to be something special, I really hope they maintain the park for that sake, because people will be coming to look at that, and you'll have people from abroad coming to look at that if it's good enough. I mean, I have friends abroad that would happily come to the UK to ride Project Horizon, but if they see the park's going to be in a state, they're not going to come back, are they? Paul Smith, I quite like Galactica, but it's been so unreliable lately. It frequently runs one station and only one train. We got stuck on the brake run during Scarefest last year. The train in front wouldn't tilt. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, right, that the Galactica is aging. It's an old ride now. All of the B&Ms are at Alton Towers, which is a different topic entirely, because what's going to happen to rides like Oblivion and Galactica when it's time for a retrack, like Nemesis, for instance? I know for a fact they aren't going to tear up the hole which Oblivion's in and retrack it. So what do you do in that circumstance? You just replace bits of the track periodically, or I don't know. There's not really much you can do because it's built underground. They sort of landlocked themselves a little bit. But no, in regards to like the tilting, again, that's a maintenance thing. That should be sorted out. I mean, again, you expect rides to break down and have technical difficulties, but I see that happening all too often where the tilt doesn't work on Galactica, for instance. That's a common thing. I mean, you can break Galactica by kicking the shin guards because it messes with the sensors. Don't do that, by the way. Don't do that, by the way. But yeah, again, it's just poor maintenance, isn't it? But yeah, no, I've not seen it run one train in a while. I've known it's run one train, but I've not seen it again in a while. do that. So, like, I can't comment on that. Stacks rides, I totally agree. Yes, no. Genuinely, I think that, again, using the analogy of the TV, you wouldn't invite your friends around to your house to, like, look at your new TV if the rest of your house wasn't, you know, in a presentable state. So, Chibi Vlogs, dungeons must be on the chopping block in regards to the park's operations. It's just a money pit. It is, and the thing is with the dungeons, right? So, you've got a park like Alton Towers that's typically open from about 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock or 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock on good days. That's still not enough time for people to experience an attraction like the dungeons that's going to take up a good 45 minutes of your day, and you've got to pay for the pleasure as well. I would have much rather the dungeons be a free to enter attraction with upcharges at the end to make back the money on the actors, etc. Because I genuinely feel like the dungeons is a missed opportunity. But I do think this will be the last year of the dungeons, and I'm pretty sure about that as well, because once Project Horizon starts vertical construction, they're going to want that area completely clean of attractions, so that they can start work on the presentation for Project Horizon, the theming. You've got to bear in mind as well, there's going to be a big ass path leading to this big building at the back of the world of David Walliams, so you've got to knock down all of those trees, you've got to do landscaping. So yeah, I think dungeons are going to go as part of that work. Mark, just like Festival of Thrills with the Smiler takeover, I feel like next year, if it does happen, then possibly there could be a Nemesis takeover, which could be amazing. If done in the right way, a Nemesis takeover would make more sense than a Smiler takeover, in my opinion. I think because with the Smiler, you've got such bright theming, the yellow and black colours, it's quite jarring, to be honest with you. And I think when you apply that theming to rides like the Wicker Man and Rita, which are quite darker themes, it really does stick out like a sore thumb. And for me, it ruined the Alton Towers experience. I only went to the Festival of Thrills once, and there was a specific reason that I didn't want to record a video on it. I just didn't want to draw attention to it. Usually, I would do videos to draw attention to things, because this channel is all about my passion, theme parks. It's about roller coasters, again, another one of my passions, and I feel like, yeah, I don't want to draw attention to something I'm not passionate about. Let's have a look. We've got more chats. Whisper Margue. You can break Galactica by breathing. Yeah, literally. You can. Jay Rosen. Ryan, why is the background music not the flume? You know what, mate? I'm going to sort that for you right now. In fact, should we do some ASMR? So, hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today, we are doing some iCoaster ASMR. I know somebody's going to like screen grab that. Here we go. Oh, I've got to make it loop. Wait a second. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix this, folks. I'm going to fix it. Click the media file, loop. Yeah, there we go. Are you happy now? You happy? Sober Life Adventures. I found the Festival of Thrills was weird. It looked weird in the dark forest. No, I agree. And I kind of get... So, Emily from Tats and Coasters, for instance, really love them. They made a very good point about the Festival of Thrills. It was meant to be a Smiler takeover, but that's not to say that the actual event didn't work, because in my opinion, the event didn't work. Am I really dancing in silence again? No way am I dancing in silence. I'm not dancing in silence. I'm pretty sure I'm not. You're just trolling me. Jay Rosen. So there is a certain ride. No. You've got to do it properly if you're going to do it. So talking about Alton Towers ride availability, there's a ride that's not been available at Alton Towers for many years now. It was themed to Imperial leather and had, it was also themed to ducks and having a bath. It had a jump scare in the before the final drop. Can anybody tell me what that ride was called, please, in the comments? I feel like it's going to take a while, so it's the flume. Oh, it's not even at the bit. Ride Sober Adventures Life. I would love a launch flyer at Alton Towers. Yeah, no, I agree. Or a spinning launch. No, I agree. I think something like a Mac Extreme spinner would work really well at Alton Towers. I'm sort of off the topic now of Alton Towers being Alton Towers this year. So if you're sort of done with that, then click off. I'm going to reply to some comments now. I'm going to interact with you guys a bit. But no, I think like a launch flyer or a Mac Extreme spinner, or even something with a launch that's a spinner would work really well at Alton Towers. I feel like it would work a lot better than Rita does at the moment, to be honest. I mean, Rita this year has been running quite well, I have to admit, but it's still a bit head bashy. I would like to see them do something with it, if not remove it in the very near future. Wispy. The thing that gets me about presentation is it's all necessarily expensive stuff, like just tidying. It's all. I'm presuming you mean it's not very expensive, like just tidying up and cleaning or replacing dead TV screens or speakers in queues. Hardly a bank breaker. It's not. It's really not. And you got to think like that takes nothing. It doesn't. It takes nothing to sweep a path or paint a wall, for instance. Like you can paint a wall in a day with a decent team, like 2 or 3 people just painting a wall. I get, like, again, it's an expense, but at the same time, you're improving the overall presentation of your park. You're making it you're making a better experience for guests that would that wouldn't necessarily come back each time. So you're leaving a good impression on them, so they're more likely to come back. I enjoyed Reach this year so far. I did. I'm seeing a lot of flumes in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of flumes in the chat right now. I like that. I like that a lot. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? We've pretty much talked about all we want to talk about. Have you guys got any thoughts and opinions on Towers this season? Has anything been particularly bothering you? Is there anything that you'd like to see changed? Anything added? Anything that was removed that you'd like to see back? Even things like, right, so just talking about Subterra for a second. I've seen photos of Subterra and the state that it's going to open in when it opens. And the sign, compared to the original sign, just looks 2D and awful, if I'm being honest with you. I would have much rather it come back with the old sign and the presentation be a bit better. They could have painted the old sign and made it look a bit better, and they could have themed it into this this red and black theme that they're sort of going for with Nemesis now. Jay Rosen, Whisper Magazine. I'm sorry, I typoed to death. No, it's absolutely fine. I'm dyslexic, so I find it really hard to read comments anyway. So I'm trying my best here. Jay Rosen, Thorpe has been the best Merlin Park this season, and I can't believe I'm saying that. You've hit the nail on the head. I think that Thorpe Park this year is the best Merlin Park in the UK, and you wouldn't hear me saying that any other year. You really wouldn't. If I was going to recommend a day out to somebody, it'd either be Chessington or Thorpe Park this year. Now I can't really vouch for Chessington that much because I've not been more than once, but yeah. No, I would agree. Theme Park Eye. Corkscrew versus 13. 13, because apparently the Corkscrew was rough. Yes, my parents ridden the Corkscrew and apparently it was rough. Strawn, lumpy path between Mine Train and Curse. Yeah, no, I said this earlier. So the path, particularly the path between Curse and Nemesis Subterra is really bad, and also the path between Mine Train and Curse is really bad as well. Just improve things like that. I mean, people could trip and hurt themselves. It's really quite bad. Paul Smith, really looking forward to Subterra. It was a great ride and should never have been closed. I agree, but it was closed due to budget, I think, because with the Smiler accident, the tragic Smiler accident. Again, my thoughts go out to all of the people who were affected within that accident when I'm talking about this. But because of that accident, sadly, Alton Towers went into a bit of a a downward spiral, and they closed many attractions. One of those being Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, obviously Subterra, and a couple of others. And I don't think they could have afforded the actors that were in Subterra, because Subterra was a bit of a money pit. I can't see Subterra lasting too much into next year as well, if I'm being honest with you. So I'd get on Subterra while you can, because I can't see it lasting, but that's just me. Sober Life Adventures. The sign looks really cheap. I strongly agree. James Buxton. Hello, James Buxton. I've not seen you comment yet. Alton Towers looked great in the 90s with the installments in all the B&Ms apart from air theming. Maybe the sheer size of place to upkeep is an issue. No, the thing is, you're dealing with a company that's raking in billions per year. Merlin is a multi-billion pound company. I don't think they would have any issue operating a park like Alton Towers, if I'm being honest with you, particularly with things like maintenance and upkeep. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I think with Alton Towers in the 90s, you had a lot less to upkeep than you did now. So the park has expanded into, I think, something that's bigger than they could have ever imagined, like in the 90s. You've got CBeebies Land, which is a theme park in itself. You've got the World David Walliams, Dark Forest, obviously X-Sector, which you alluded to there. You have Forbidden Valley, you have the Wicker Man now. There's a lot that they have to upkeep, but I genuinely think that if a company was to be able to do it, it would be Merlin, but sadly they've demonstrated that they can't. I've got a fluff on my shoulders. I've been there the whole stream. Jay Rosen, I'm off. I will see you later, Jay Rosen. Snap me, please. Chibi Vlogs, I would like to see the towers get a Intamin gyro swing. No, I agree. I think an Intamin gyro swing would be really, really good at Alton Towers, to be honest with you. I think that would work really well. It would definitely fix some of the flat ride issues that they're having at the moment, and it would be a fun, thrilling ride. I mean, the gyro swing at Polton's Park works really, really well, and it continues to work really, really well for them. You've got to remember, Tornado Springs is a few years old now. Mark, I think the In the Night Garden boat ride needs some upgrading, and as the animatronics seem to be tired now, plus the audio on the boats is delayed sometimes. No, I agree with you. You got to remember that ride is an extremely old ride. It's like the Coast Old Manor. They're using an old ride system. Within the Night Garden, it was an upgrade of an existing attraction, and that attraction was like one of the oldest at Alton Towers, I think. So I'm surprised they even kept that, to be honest. Alton Towers and more. Hello. Hey guys. Hi guys. How are you doing, Alton Towers and more? Alton Towers and more. Chibi Vlogs. If Air got its original theming as planned, it could have been amazing. No, I agree. The original concepts for Air looked absolutely amazing. I would have loved to have seen Air in the state that it was originally planned to be in. I think with it being the world's first B&M flyer, and B&M flyers being notoriously expensive anyway, bearing in mind they had to pay for the development of this one, I think that there was no way in hell that they were going to get the theming that they planned initially, sadly. I don't think that was on the cards for them, but John Worley, being the visionary that he did, he managed to at least get something out of it, and he got a great flying coaster. And Alton Towers has got still got a great flying coaster because of it. It's nothing particularly special. I'd rate Manual Mayhem over Galactica, for instance, but I genuinely think that it's a good ride, good solid ride. Paul Smith. I actually prefer fewer live actors. They could easily run Subterra with less people shouting at you. No, I agree. I think that Subterra could be operated with fewer actors, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think they're going to do that. From what I've seen, I know people who work in Subterra, and it seems like they're going to have an attraction full of actors, but I can't wait to see what they come up with, personally. Tim, the live actors do get a bit annoying at times, particularly when they're shouting at you. I don't get the whole point of them shouting at you, because the whole story is you're being invited to view the egg, and if you're being shouted at for looking at the egg, then you know, I understand it's meant to be a strict environment, but at the same time, you're being shouted at. Like, doesn't really fit, in my opinion, but there we go. Stacks Ride. I'm going to go now, Ryan, but hope you have a wonderful day and hopefully see you at Towers. Yes, hopefully see you at Towers as well. I bump into you all the time, to be fair. I'll be at Alton Towers on Saturday if anybody's going to be there. Really can't wait for the Saturday. Saturday's going to be absolutely sick. Theme Park I, Nemesis Subterra was supposed to be a 1.2, but it was changed to 1.4. And again, I think the reason it was changed to a 1.4 was because of the intensity of the actual attraction itself. It's a very intense attraction in terms of the scares. Wispy, I agree. The actors shouting at people seems to be done to death. No, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't say it's done to death at Merlin Parks. I mean, Darren Brown's Ghost Train, yes, that was very overwhelming at times. Like, you'd be shouted at for no reason. I get the point of creating some urgency to get people through the attraction, but at the same time, there's other ways of doing it. If you're a good actor, for instance, you could lead a group on. But no, I agree in some respects. I agree. I sort of don't agree in others. But no, I do think there's too much shouting in Subterra, to be honest with you. And I hope that's something they improve on. Although I think if they're going to bring, if they are bringing Subterra back in a better capacity, they would have thought about things like that. Wispy, don't know. I've already read that comment. Alton Towers and more. Do you think that ATR will sell old dual signage? Alton Towers, I presume that's ATR. Is that Alton Towers, the Towers Trading? Is that Towers Trading? I don't think they will ever sell old signage because that's not really an Alton Towers thing to do, but it would be cool if they did. I'm going to go in a second, guys, by the way, so if you've got any comments, please do get them in now. And make sure to like the stream because it really does help me out. It really does. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Chibi Vlogs, I think there's an issue with Towers senior management personally. Just look at the decision to put a viewing platform in the location that obscures a monorail. No, I agree. As obscured by a monorail. No, I agree. I think that yeah, the decision to put the viewing platform there was a very interesting one. I would have put it a bit more over to the left and had it over the road personally, but I kind of see why they didn't do that because they wanted it far enough away from the construction of Nemesis to be safe, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that Bianca is a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you, to Alton Towers. But I did watch Sean's video about with the interview with Bianca, and I do think that a lot of questions were scooted over that needed to be answered, if I'm being honest with you. But I do think Bianca overall is a bit of a breath of fresh air. I think she is going to bring new life into Alton Towers, but you've got to bear in mind she's only been there for a short amount of time, so she's not had time to make much change at all. But give her a few years and I'm sure we'll see even more change coming. Wispy, a lot of scare mazes did that too. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Merlin scare mazes in regards to shouting and things like that is quite bad. I do agree with you on that. In regards to attractions, though, not so much. We'll see how it is with Ghost Train, though, because Ghost Train looks like it wouldn't fit the whole shouty thing. It's more of a mysterious ride. It plays you psychologically than Impact Scares, for instance, but yes. Shane, Thorpe has been the better park for the past couple of years and also have the better coasters. No, I mean, I do think that Thorpe Park for pure thrills has the better coasters, but in terms of experience, I think that Alton Towers has the better coasters. Now, this is part of the reason I didn't like the Festival of Thrills at Alton Towers this year was because you had changes in audio and you had changes in visuals and things like that for the different rides, and I think that particularly at a park like Alton Towers where they rely on the visual and audio elements of the rides, I think that shouldn't have been done. They shouldn't have changed the audio on their rides and the visuals on their rides. I think that that's something that should be left to Thorpe Park for their events, because Thorpe Park, it's basically an amusement park, isn't it? They can get away with changing the audio on things like Stealth and the Swarm. With Alton Towers, they can't get away with that, sadly. So I'm gonna answer a few more comments, so get them coming in. Chibi Vlogs. She has her work cut out for her, and it's going to take time, but I'm optimistic. No, I'm optimistic as well. I genuinely think that Bianca is here to make real change. I mean, she seems passionate enough about the park to make real change, and I can't wait to see what Bianca is able to do with the park in the future. I do think there's some good things coming to Alton Towers, especially particularly behind Bianca's leadership. Sober Life Adventures, I think she will, Chibi. Yeah, no, I agree. So guys, I am going to end the stream here, just because I'm getting a bit tired, want to go lay down, chill out for the rest of the night before work tomorrow. It's been really, really nice talking to you guys. I'm going to try and do a few more of these, just because I really do like the live stream format. Don't worry, there will be more videos coming very soon. There'll be a video coming from the opening day of Subterra, featuring Jamie from Theme Park Hub. Go follow her, she is absolutely amazing. I will leave her TikTok on one of my social medias. Just search Theme Park Hub in TikTok, she's fantastic. I'll be also joined by Chats and Coasters, Theme Park Jam and the KD Adventures, so plenty of people will be featured in that video. I cannot wait for the opening of Subterra. But yes guys, if you have enjoyed the stream and you haven't already, please do smack that like button, subscribe so you don't miss the